Breakfast. It is the WAVE 97.9 WHAV, and it's Win for Breakfast. And in the studio with us is Kara Kosmes. She is the business manager over at Whittier Regional Vocational Technical High School. And Kara, thank you for joining. And you're telling me some great stories about WHAV. You actually were taught by Edwin V. Johnson.
I was. My senior year in high school, he taught a class called Public Speaking, and I took it with him. It was probably one of the best classes I've ever taken in my life.
A lot of people they've said the same thing, yeah. And you were in the building back when you were a little one, huh?
Yeah, my father was a friend of Ed Johnson's, and one night he took me here with him to see the radio station. And Ed was actually behind the glass, and he was broadcasting, and I was very small. I don't remember a lot about it, but I certainly remember being here and certainly remember seeing him behind that glass.
Oh, how about that? I wish I could have met him, but I'll do that at a later time. But the reason that you're here is that well, you're kind of doing the rounds. You're going to be retiring after a number of years.
That's true.
And how long have you been at Whittier?
This is my 13th year at Whittier.
Okay. And prior to that, you were over at
Haverhill Public, for nearly 17 years.
Okay, so that's 30 years.
Just about, yeah.
So what did you do in the meantime?
When I first got out of college, I worked for a wonderful gentleman. His name was Bill Murphy. He was a CPA, and I worked in his office for about 14 years. So I've mostly been number crunching my whole life.
Holy cow. Well, you and I kind of share the same thing. Like this is your, you have never been on the radio before, and I have never balanced a checkbook before.
Yeah, I guess so.
But has the accounting world changed since you got into it?
Oh, it absolutely has. Everything was manual when I first started. You used paper and pencil, and in order to do bookkeeping, you had these big, long, wide spreadsheets where you wrote checks, and they had you could copy it onto the spreadsheet. And over the years, you would use the computer. And then you could do financial statements on the computer. And even when I started in Haverhill, so much of the work was done manually and rotely. You would get reports from the school, and they would send them into central office, and then you would have to manually enter the number of children at the beginning of the school year, and then you'd have to somehow report that to the Department of Ed. And now everything is all electronic. It's day to day. It's automatically uploaded. It's very, very different.
So you could punch numbers in on a calculator.
I could.
Without even looking at it.
I do.
Still.
Yep, I still do. And actually, I learned that task when I was working in the CPA field because you use the calculator a lot. So you kind of get used to not looking at the numbers, sort of like a lot of people do typing. And so I do still use the calculator, and I don't look at the numbers.
So all these years in the financial field, you never worked in a bank?
No, I never worked at a bank. No.
Huh. Wow. Okay. So coming up at the end of the school year, you'll be retired, and do you have plans?
My plan, I'm retiring in August. My plan is to maybe sit on the beach for about 5 or 6 weeks. September is usually beautiful down there. There's not a lot of crowds. And so I look forward to just doing nothing for a little while and then figuring out what I want to do when I grow up for the rest of my life.
Now, are you talking about like Hampton Beach?
Salisbury Beach. We have a small place at Salisbury Beach. So I intend to use it a lot more than I've been able to.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was thinking Hampton Beach. Well, you won't be far.
No.
But they have the seafood festival over there in September.
That's true.
I've never been there, but
I've been once. It's very crowded.
Enough said. Wow. So you were in high school back when Whittier opened up.
Yeah. Whittier opened up in 1973. I was a sophomore at that time. And when we were freshmen, we all went over to tour the school, and at the time it was state of the art, brand new, beautiful. Didn't look like a lot of the schools that I had been to up until then. But it was a very different school than it is now. It was primarily for the trades. It had been an offshoot of Haverhill Trade School, which was operating downtown in Haverhill for many, many years. And it took several years to be built because of the 11 communities coming together to agree upon how the school would be built and how the school would be funded. But it was a state-of-the-art school back in 1973.
It's kind of like today.
Well, today it's not exactly state-of-the-art, but we do our best.
Well, with all the communities trying to get together and figure out what to do.
Yeah. We've been working. It's called the Regional Agreement Amendment Committee, and I've been going to those meetings as well, and they're moving along.
Okay.
It's going to take some time. We hope within a year that we'll have some sort of new amended regional agreement that people can agree upon, at least as much as they can agree upon it, and that we may be able to move forward with a building project for Whittier.
I don't know if you've caught up with our news today, but we have the story about the feasibility study,
Yes.
$2.5 million, and taken out of an account with $2.9 million.
Mm-hmm.
So in my calculation, that leaves $400,000. What are you going to do with that?
We will leave that as we have left it for things that we need to do at Whittier. We really try very hard to put money aside because it is a 53-year-old building. And we don't know what's going to break next. Things do tend to break. All of the major operating systems are original to the building. And we recognize that if something is to go wrong, it could be very expensive. So we just leave those monies in reserve and hope we don't have to use them.
Oh, yeah. Now we have Maureen Lynch on a monthly basis. And she says even though it's a technical high school, they do get to make parts to replace the things that you can't get those parts for anymore.
Yeah.
And but right now, it's like an old car. Eventually you can't do it.
Eventually, some of those systems are going to go. And we worry that it could be catastrophic, and very expensive. So we're really hoping that this go round, trying to rebuild the building or fix the building or move it to Northern Essex or whatever happens, we really do hope that it's successful. Whittier Tech deserves to have its time. All the other schools have been renovated or built or added to around here, but we have never done that. We are pretty much the same footprint that we were when we opened in 1973.
And that is amazing. It's amazing. You talk about 1973. To me, it's amazing that was more than 50 years ago.
That is true. Yeah.
So that goes quickly.
Yeah.
Now, are you still going to volunteer for
Absolutely.
Whittier Tech?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been part of the building project since 2014, and I'd like to continue with that to see how it goes if I'm allowed to. And absolutely anything that they need from me at Whittier Tech, I'm more than happy to step in and out.
So you have the institutional knowledge.
I guess so, in 13 years worth anyway.
Now, the back in January of 2024, was that the first time that the school had made an effort to expand?
Yes. Our maintenance has always been a priority at Whittier, and we obviously have a lot of tradespeople in the building, and our staff has done a phenomenal job keeping a 50-plus-year-old building operating, but the systems are getting old. Maureen was talking last night about, at our budget meeting, about how some of the unit heaters in the classrooms have to be turned on every morning and then turned off at the end of the day, or they're too hot in the middle of the day, even though it's the dead of winter, or too cold. And our maintenance crew is always running around, switching things on, switching things off. It's very inefficient and takes a lot of their time. And that's because these systems are over 50 years old.
I live in a house that's over 50 years old.
So do I.
It's if you know how to do that stuff, it's okay.
Yeah, if you do. If you don't, it's not okay. But they do, and they do a phenomenal job.
Yeah. How about that? All right. Well, I've asked, and I'm sure, we could talk for days, but what else is on your mind about Whittier and what you've been doing over there?
Oh, God, it's just a wonderful place. It gives the students such a great opportunity to do whatever they want to do. If you want to go into a trade, you can go into a trade. If you want to go on to a technical school, you can do that. If you'd like to go to college, you can do that. It's very different from when it opened. It was primarily for the trades. And if you wanted to go into a trade, you went there. But now if you go to Whittier, you can pretty much leave and do anything you want. And the bonus, I think, for students today is you also leave with a skill. So you always will have something hopefully to fall back on. And as we all know, college today is very, very, very expensive. So for some of these students, it's a wonderful option for them to be able to have the training and the choices.
That's right, because you can learn the trade,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can go get a business degree,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can start up your own business and know how to
do it. Yeah.
How to do it.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, all right. Well, Kara, maybe we can get you back on at some point.
Love to.
And that would be great. So you were here back, how old were you when you were a kid?
Oh, I probably was 5 or 6.
And
A long time ago.
And you remember it to this day.
I do remember it. Yes.
Right. And when you went into the WHAV newsroom, you saw a picture of Ed Johnson.
I did.
And it looks just like him, huh?
It looks just like him. He was a wonderful man and a wonderful teacher.
Maybe what we could do is talk to Tim, and maybe he can get an audio clip, because I know that he has one, and then we could put a button on the plaque, and then you could hit the button
and hear him all over again. That would be wonderful. I love that.
All right. Well, Kara, thank you so much for joining us today, and yeah, look forward to getting you back again after you're done at the beach.
Thank you so much, Wynn.
Are you going to read any books?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, I'm a part of a book club, so we always have 2 or 3 books going a month, and then we meet every month and we discuss them. So I don't know, whatever seems to be popular or they recommend is what I'll be reading.
Okay. You ever reread books?
Not really, no.
Okay. So it sounds like you're a novel type of person.
Yeah, that's what I read.
Novels. Okay. Perfect. All right. Well, Kara, again, thank you so much, and thank you for keeping tabs on all the numbers and all that stuff, and being able to change as the technology changed. Did you fight the computers when they first came through?
No, not at all.
No.
I was excited to use them. Yeah.
All right, and they were excited to have you learn how to use them, because then the owners of the business didn't have to learn how to do that.
Kind of, I guess. Yeah.
And that put you in a good spot, because you know how to do it and they didn't. All right. Well, thank you again, Kara Kosmes, the business manager over at Whittier Regional Vocational Technical High School. She's going to be retiring in August, and we thank her for her service. It is Win for Breakfast here on the WHAV 97.9 WHAV.
Wake up with Win Damon weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on 97.9 FM WHAV.
Catch the wave, WHAV.